Okay, wonderful. We'll call to order, pledge allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, this is the first meeting of the new board. So I will have the clerk call the roll, please.
Yes, trustees Walter Donnett,
Present.
Michelle Hilliard,
Here.
Troy Tusana, absent, Jennifer Zorn,
Here.
and Supervisor West.
Here.
The minutes will also show that the assessor Tammy Cavanaugh and Township Attorney Van Larson are also present, and we have videographer Andrew Van Meter.
Okay, thank you. All right, now on to the approval of minutes for the May meeting. Everybody should have a copy.
Yep, I'll make,
That we approve the minutes for the May meeting?
and I will second that.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, moved by Donnet, seconded, or you're gonna call that out? Sorry.
Seconded by Zorn. So, I will call the roll on the approval of the minutes. Walter Donnett,
Yes.
Jennifer Zorn,
Yes.
Michelle Hilliard,
Yes.
and Supervisor West.
Yes.
The minutes are approved unanimously.
Thank you. Okay, before we get to the bills, I'm going to do a supervisor's report. There's a page in there for that as well. The first thing I'm going to report on are the bank accounts. They are all listed there. The general fund for the township, general assistance, the township money market account, road fund account, and the road fund money market account. I didn't put the cents down, I just rounded these to the near dollar, so it makes it look a little bit quicker. So total town funds as of May 31st was $174,492. Total road funds was $517,303. We did get a disbursement in May for $65,000 for the town fund and $26,000 for the road fund, and those were moved into the money market accounts. The interest earned year to date for the town funds is about right around $1,037, and the road funds, which has a few more dollars than we do in the general funds, was $3,655. It's pretty good for 2 months. Budget reports. We're using the approved budget sheets right now that we passed and sent into the county. All the numbers look pretty good. We seem to be right on target with the budgets and estimates. There's also a new budget. It's at the end of the worksheets for review, and we will have a budget hearing at 6:45 before the next meeting, and at that time hopefully we will pass the new amended budget.
John, you said the interest earned is pretty good for 2 months, and it says year to date. Is the year start fiscal year?
Our fiscal year, yeah, April, and those are April and May months. Okay, so keeping in fashion with the history before, we're keeping an eye on a few things. Legal fees, there are no news. There's no news on that. There's no information about that, so right now those look good. The accounting fees, I just wanted to bring up that our next audit is a hard figure of $25,400. We are still behind 2 audits, and we're hoping to get those done before the end of the fiscal year. Hopefully, well, I don't think we'll get it done by the end of the year. They're going to start the next one in the fall. So we'll see how long that takes, and then we'll move on to the next one. We are moving. We're going to move to 201 Houston Street, Suite 300. And this was brought about by looking for comps, because we had a 5-year plan or 5-year lease offer from BEI. So some folks went out and checked around, and we found a space that's a little bit smaller, but works better for everybody. Everybody has been over there, has looked at it in the departments and in the office. There were a few things that were wanted. Number one, we wanted a private meeting room for GA clients, general assistance clients, and possibly even tax clients if so needed. We got it worked out in the space that we're going to put a couple windows in for some outside viewing. One office has 2 walls of windows, and the other 2 have none. So we're going to put a window on either side of the hallway, so somebody can be in the office, they can see outside. Anyhow.
Good solution.
So, there's also a sheet in the folder that shows our savings over the 5-year plan, which was pretty decent. And we are going to use some of that for the move, but some, maybe 20-25% of that. The lease, I did send the lease over to Van. He did look it over and gave us the approval. So we have a signed lease, and we are transferring our internet on the 16th, and we are going to be moving on June 17th. So our moving company has been here. They looked at everything we had. They were going to give us the boxes. I'm sure that was included in the cost, but anyway, we have boxes, everything to pack up. We're going to take everything out of the files, box them up. That's what they wanted. They didn't want to move the files, full of files, the cabinets, and we're going to get everything over there, put them in a spot where we think it's most efficient for all the departments, and then we may have some stuff left over that we have to dispose of, but we'll get there and we'll make it all work. Yeah. This table might be big, but as of right now, this table's going there, and we'll go from there. It's going to take a little time to adjust to the space and get everybody in and moving around happy and whatnot.
Yep.
We also had to have, the movers would not move our printer. Since we leased the printer, the printing company moves that. So if there's any problems, they also want to connect it back up. So that is a separate fee, and some of that is in the bills for payment. Okay, let's see. Audits, I talked about that a little bit, but we're going to have the next one done starting in the fall. That's for 23-24, and hopefully right after that, the one for fiscal year 24-25. Lee and I met with community agencies on May 15th, had quite a good turnout, and of course everybody is needy and everybody needs some funds. You will see in the new budget that we were able to come up with some money and put it back in. The original budget does not have any money in it for social service agencies.
Very good.
I said some now. I didn't.
I know, but that's a good amount right there, and I
Okay.
feel good about that, so thank you.
All right. And I have one last thing that I want to bring up. I sent out an email about anybody that wanted to go to the TOI newly elected officials training in Naperville.
Yeah.
Lee is going for sure. It's on the June 17th. I am not going. That's our moving day.
Yeah.
And if anybody else wants to, will let me know after the meeting, and I've got a sheet over there that I can get the names on it, and if you care to go. All right. approval of bills. Is there a motion to approve the bills for the general fund?
So moved.
Yep. I'll second.
Just a minute, did I,
Any discussion?
so wait. Who made the motion to approve?
Walt.
Walt? And Zorn seconded?
Yep.
Okay, and this is the general and assessors fund bills in the amount of $73,619.48.
Any discussion? If not, clerk call the roll, please.
Walt Donnet,
Yes.
Jennifer Zorn.
Yes.
Michelle Hilliard,
Yes.
Supervisor West.
Yes,
Motion passed.
thank you. Next on the agenda is the road fund bills to be paid.
So moved. I'll second.
Okay, moved by Zorn, seconded by Hilliard. Any discussion? None? Okay, clerk call the roll, please.
Jennifer Zorn,
Yes.
Michelle Hilliard,
Yes.
Walt Donnet,
Yes.
Supervisor West.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Those bills to be paid are right in line with our numbers for the fiscal year average. And so we're on schedule. Assessors report?
Yeah, so we have completed our 2025 assessments. So we reviewed neighborhoods and changed assessments that need to be changed, whether up or down. We certified to the county May 12th, 25. We should probably publish by end of June, maybe beginning of July. And any assessment that our office changed will get a notice, and they will be published in the paper. If you did not get a change through our office, which would mean if the county applied an equalization factor, which they tend to do, which last meeting I mentioned it could be 1.0878%, well, 8.78% on top of your assessed value. So that helps bring equity in the township, amongst the township as a whole, and it is applied to every parcel other than like exempt properties. So it does affect everyone, and it's, again, it's because of the increasing market and we lag behind, so we're, our sales for the last 3 years that we use in the study are all pretty high sale amounts, so that's what's driving up your fair cash value, which in turn typically raises taxes. So, watch for notices. If you do not get one, we do have an area on our website at www.bataviatownship.com. We call it a newsletter. Basically, if you just sign your email up, it'll alert you automatically of that publication date. So it's out there. So feel free to sign up for that, because a lot of people, you know, if you're not changed, you don't know what's going up, possibly by the factor. And this will let you know if it did, if one is applied. That's really it, other than keeping busy with permits and entering sales. And we did have a young man come in, and he's starting to scan our data. So we're trying to eliminate all these file cabinets here. So during the move, I mean, we're not gonna get done immediately, so, you know, whether he's helping or not, we will try to get them done as fast as we can, because we're just trying to condense and put everything digital, so they'll be attached to their parcel number. And then we'll donate the property record cards, hopefully, to the Historical Society, because we're not supposed to dispose of them.
I was just gonna ask that question.
Yeah, so if no one will take them, then we have to put them somewhere. But, yeah.
you can't apply to the state to have those destroyed
I
once you.
don't think so. I think those are like,
I think you might need to check into that.
I will.
Yeah.
I will for sure.
Mhm.
I don't want to be the one to
Right.
destroy them.
Right.
So if someone,
If they're all
Has storage.
scanned in, that's a good thing.
right,
Yeah.
yeah, so
Mhm.
that's our goal
Mhm.
for sure. So
Nice.
That's about it.
How
Good.
many of them are there?
There's over 13,000 parcels. So,
See those 4 cabinets right there?
4 cabinets full?
Mhm.
so 13,000 records. Well, land, vacant land doesn't have anything. So 12,000. Yeah, there's a lot. And it's, you have to scan the front and then the back, and then it goes to, it's going to Stephanie's email right now. And eventually we'll save those to each parcel number as an object. So when you click on the parcel, the history of that card will be there. So we have like old pictures, and I just hate to see that destroyed. So I'll be happy that they're online, and because I hate to say, but I do refer back to those for history, like what happened here, you know,
Mhm.
sometimes something's not matching, so it's a good resource.
Okay, thanks, Tammy.
You're welcome.
Chris is not here tonight, the road commissioner, so he said I could go ahead and share some of his news. The township area on the west side of town, most notably Woodland Avenue area, was one of the center focal points of that microburst. I happen to live on Woodland Avenue. And quite a few trees came down. I don't think any homes were damaged. There might be a couple that had some minor damage, but a lot of old growth trees came over and pretty much affected the whole street of Woodland Avenue. He did say that they had a report on shagbark. They did have to go over and trim up a tree down there that had come over. Now, that's my neighborhood, and a lot of neighbors know that I'm the township supervisor now. And right away, everybody was out on the street. And number one, they were out on the street trying to help each other, really, and make sure everybody was okay. I contacted Chris, and he sent me an email back, or a text back, and said that he had just gotten home. It was about 4 o'clock, and didn't know anything about it. He was out of town, and he came down there. He called his guys up, and he got one of his guys to come in. Chris came in with an end loader. He got a guy from Blackberry Township to come in and help as well to clear the road. And there were trees and wires. They were all tangled up. Nobody knew if the wires were dead, if the wires were hot. We told everybody to not touch the trees that were wrapped up into the wires. 4 or 5, maybe 8 homeowners came out with their own chainsaws, and they trimmed up anything that was across the road that didn't have wires in it before Chris and his guys got there. And Chris and his guys, they were probably there for 90 minutes, and the road was passable. And everybody was really thankful, and we worked together, but they did really a wonderful job, and they were on it right away. In fact, they were there yesterday. Now, they work share with Blackberry Township on big projects. They sent their guys over yesterday to help Chris and his guys continue, and they did it again today, and they got everything cleared up that was township responsibility, and it was wonderful. We had a good response from ComEd, and the whole area was back in power within 24 hours, and I cannot believe, with as much damage as there was with poles down and wires down, that they got that done within 24 hours, but they did. And one of the saving grace things about it was we were really the only area for ComEd that got hit. So they sent about 20 trucks and about 40 people and they were just awesome. And anyhow, that's more than I should talk about for Chris's report, but he couldn't make it tonight. He said, go ahead and share that, so that's what we got. They got a good crew.
Nice.
Okay, next, trustee reports. Anybody have anything tonight?
Well, adding on to that, I've got a house down Woodland Avenue, and I heard nothing but praise for the Township Road Department. It really reflected great credit upon themselves and the township by what they did down there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was a very bad event, and they sure did their part to help out, and it was really good. It was really good. So, I don't know if there's any public participation. Not tonight. Okay, on to new business. We have a road district and township intergovernmental agreement. That's in your packet. And I don't know if I have to read this whole thing aloud, or I don't have to?
Necessarily.
Okay, I'm gonna give you the,
I would just add, this is a different version than you received by email. There was an old version, this is a new, cleaner version.
yeah, I sent out an original version in the packet of information, and I sent the wrong one out. Lee helped me clean this up, and what it is basically is the road district is gonna transfer some funds into the Batavia Township funds to a tune of $42,000 to help out with the commissioner's salary and clerical wages to help us with our budget this year.
Is it a loan or a gift?
It's a gift.
It's a transfer of funds from one checking account to another.
Okay, there's going to be a quarterly check of $10,500 to make the total of $42,000. And the first one is in the bills for payment that we passed tonight. So I need to have a motion to approve this intergovernmental agreement.
So move.
I'll second.
Okay, moved by Donna, seconded by Zorn. Any discussion? Okay, clerk call the roll, please.
Paul Donnet,
Yes.
Jennifer Zorn,
Yes.
Michelle Hilliard,
Yes.
John West.
Yes,
Then motion passed unanimously.
thank you. We worked on this budget for months, and the amended budget for months. Lee put a lot of time into this.
Well, isn't it this plus this?
Yes.
Got it.
So Chris made the offer and we accepted. So anyway, thank you. We need to do something with the banking. We need to transfer Lee's name out and my name in as the primary administrator for City of Bank, or Wintrust Bank in St. Charles, so we can get the proper names on the accounts. We need a motion to do that.
Motion. I'll second.
Moved by Hilliard, seconded by Zorn.
Any discussion on that?
Michelle Hilliard,
Yes.
Jennifer Zorn,
Yes.
Paul Donnet,
Yes.
and John West.
Yes.
Passed unanimously.
Okay, thank you. Next item is 708 board reps. I'm actually the rep right now for the Batavia Township, and I'm going to be looking for another rep to replace me to sit on the board. There's three. Let's see, is it quarterly or
Oh,
3
the
times a year?
meetings?
Yeah,
Yeah.
quarterly meetings, and they're either in person or by Zoom. They last about an hour.
Is
It's
it a-
pretty much informative.
An evening or a day?
It's in the
Evening.
evenings, usually at 7 p.m. So we just
Does the
finished
same
one.
person have to do all of them, or could we all take one?
It's more convenient, I'll just say that if it's one person,
One person.
so that they know who it is, and they don't need to be informed every single meeting as to who's representing the township.
Are there other duties other than 4 meetings a year for that?
Nope.
No.
Like you don't have to attend things during
You
the day?
just report back to the
Okay.
board.
I will gladly do that if no one else wants.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Do we have a
Let-
motion?
Let's make a motion
Oh.
then to
I guess,
appoint
yeah, do
Jennifer
I
Zorn.
make the motion? No,
You
okay.
can.
I'll make the motion to appoint Jennifer Zorn
And I'll
to the
second.
708 board.
Okay.
Okay, and who,
Motion by West,
West.
second by Hilliard.
okay,
Any more discussion?
John West,
Yes.
Michelle Hilliard,
Yes.
Walt Donnet,
Yes.
and Jennifer Zorn.
Yes.
Motion was passed. So Jennifer Zorn is now the township representative of the Batavia 708 board.
So the township supervisor occasionally sits in on the meetings.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, the 7 southern townships of Kane County are the townships that are involved in the 708 board. And there is a 708 board for each township, and then there is a big ink board that makes the allocations. So
So
that's
she's a
the-
representative to which one of those boards?
Hmm?
The local Batavia board.
Davy board?
Yes.
Not the ink board.
No.
That's right.
Okay.
This is the Batavia 708 board.
Yes.
Got it.
So this is not in your packet of information, but we need to reappoint 2 people that are on the 708 board to take another 4-year term
I think it's
each.
already done.
What's that?
I think it's already done. I don't think we need to appoint anyone.
Delilah asked me to have it, reappoint them at our next board meeting.
Okay, I think we already did it, but that's fine. So who are we reappointing?
Okay, so Helen Sue Kroll and Nancy Murphy are willing to retain their seats on the board. And we just need a motion we need to approve them. So I'll make the motion to approve those 2 people.
I'll second.
Okay? Moved by West, second by Zorn.
Okay. West,
Yes.
Zorn,
Yes.
Donnet,
Yes.
Hilliard.
Yes.
Motion approved.
Okay, I will email her tomorrow and say we completed that at tonight's meeting. Thank you. Okay,
Miss that.
what's that?
Busy place over there tonight.
She's gonna miss that.
I haven't seen it that busy.
It gets busy sometimes. Okay, for old business, as I spoke about a little bit previously, our Batavia Enterprises lease was expiring at the end of May, so we did do some comps on it. We found a new place. Van checked out the lease for us. It seems pretty decent. We found some favorable rates for and lease terms. We're gonna move over to 201 Houston Street, Suite 300. It has elevators. It has 2 levels of entry. One's on the 2nd floor parking lot area. One's on the 1st floor parking lot area. The lease, I can talk about the lease a little bit, can't I, Van? Anyway, included in the lease, we are paying separately here for utilities. Including in our lease are all the utilities.
That's great.
The washrooms are community washrooms for all the office places that are over there. So we will have to go out of the office to use the restroom, but we don't maintain any of that stuff. We don't maintain any of the air conditioning or anything like that, so we won't have any of those extra fees. As I said, the place was a little bit smaller, but it's workable for everybody. We've all been over to see it. We had to be a little creative on some of the seating assignments, but we worked it all out. Everybody was in favor, and we're gonna have a 5-year lease. And the increase in rent was favorable. And we have an option at the end of the 5th year for another 5 years at the same percentage rent terms. And also at the end of 10 years for another 5-year option with the same percentage rent terms. We did talk with BEI, and I wanted to thank them for probably a little bit over 20 years of letting the Batavia Township rent from them and rent this space. They're good people. And they welcomed us along to our new place. So we're all good. Here, I think there's a copy of, you guys don't need the lease. We have one, Van's had one, she has one.
Future meetings will be held over there.
Yes. So hopefully we'll have everything there and straightened out by our July meeting for our first meeting over there. We should.
Is there help? Do we need to help pitch in, you know, or what do you?
Right now, we have everything taken care of.
Perfect. That's great
Yep.
news. The holler if you need
Hopefully
some
we
help.
can report that
Yes.
at the end of
Yeah.
the next meeting. Okay, so also in the packet of information is the amended budget and appropriate ordinance, as well as some new spreadsheets that we use internally to keep track of our spending and where our budget is at. That's available tonight. It's going to be available for the hearing next month. And hopefully we will vote on it at next month's meeting and get it taken to the county. All right, well, that's for a review. I don't have anything else tonight, and there was no public participation, so if we're all good and nobody has anything else, taking a motion for adjournment.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Donnet, seconded by Hilliard. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you. See you
Thank
next
you.
time.